Yeah.
Well, that's funny.
Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is I'm gonna get in trouble for saying the. This is Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your what? Your what? Your what? Come on, ladies.
Money.
Come on. All right, y'all. Today we're gonna have a conversation, a different kind of conversation, I think, about Black wealth. So there's so many times that we hear that we're failing financially or we're falling behind in every category. Everything that's good, we're on the bottom. Everything that's bad, we're on the top. That's what we hear about Black people, right? But the truth is, Black people have money. We do have spending power. We do have business power, and we do have millionaire power. Nearly 2 million Black Americans have hit 7 figures, and that is worth celebrating. So I want you guys, everybody give Black people a round of applause for hitting 7 figures. All right, but here's where it gets complicated. While our numbers are growing, the gap is still massive. White and Asian households are 5 times more likely to be millionaires. We make billions, but we also spend billions. We build brands, but we don't always own them. So today, we are unpacking the full picture, the progress, paradox, and the possibilities, because we do have it. The question is, how do we keep it? How do we grow it? And how do we pass it on? Now, we have all the right people today to talk about this very topic. We got Dr. S. Sabrina. Come on, Dr. Sabrina, SEW in the building, all the way from the SIP. What's happening, sis?
Hey, S to the E to the W to the hey. Good morning. We're ready for this conversation.
Okay, this is the Black Girl Queen right here. And then we have none other than the Dr. the B. Big. Coach. B. Big. Coach. What to say? Hey, what's happening, Miss Felice, the therapist? She's gonna therapize all of us because we all need a Dr. Felice in our lives. She's hailing from the mighty area of Charlotte, North Carolina, by way of New York. What part of New York you from?
Brooklyn.
Big ups to Brooklyn. I heard it's hella expensive out there too.
Now it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Miss Black Hollywood's going to join us a little bit later after she gets her ish together. But when you heard, I'm going to ask you guys this. When you heard the idea of Black money, what's up to everybody in the chat, everybody in the audience? I see you, Deborah Will. Y'all, so on my show, I have people come on live with me. Deborah Will Win came on live with me yesterday. We had a great conversation. She just dropped in. What's happening, Double A? And I want to give a shout out to Double A. She, because I always ask the audience what they did over the weekend. She went, messed around, and got her MBA. So shout out to Double A. Congratulations, lady. We're so freaking proud of you. What's up, Miss Poetry? She was just on our last show just a minute ago. We was talking about D'Angelo. She actually won a book from me because she knows everything about D'Angelo. And what's up, Dr. Vibe and Booker? What's happening all the way from Fort Worth? What's going on, Mr. Dennis, and everybody on here with us today? All the folks who be on with us regularly every day. So I want to ask you guys, and I want to ask the folks in chat. When you heard that 1 in 25 Black people or 1 in 20 Black people were millionaires, what was the first thing that you thought? Sabrina, did you think it was true or false? Or were you happy? Were you excited? Or did you think that we have a long way to go? And I want to ask y'all in the chat too. Did you know that this was a thing, that 1 in 20 Black people were millionaires? And if you did, what was your thought? And if you didn't, or do you think it's true or you think it's false? What do you guys think? I'll ask you first, Dr. Sabrina. What's your thought?
Absolutely. I don't see the statistic being a problem, especially with all the advances that we have made in education. A lot of people made a ton of money during the pandemic. We have progress. So when I hear something like that, of course, I'm excited about the fact that we are doing better as a people overall. Now, are we where we need to be? Not necessarily, because, that statistic would sound a whole lot better if it was 15 out of 20, that we all are there. But just the idea that we do have people, I would say, that are doing much better here in 2025 than they were doing in 2019. That's wonderful as far as I'm concerned.
That's progress. I love it. I love it. What y'all thinking in the chat? What do you think about the idea of Black people, there being more Black millionaires? 1 in 20 Black folks are now millionaires, or it's 1 in 25. I'm not sure. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's true or false? Do you think it's real? Some people that think that Black people only live in impoverished situations. They don't think that, we have any Black wealth. They don't think that there's any influence with Black people. So what y'all think? Y'all think it's real, or y'all think it's fake? Dr. Felice, what's your thoughts, girl?
I'm so grateful and happy and excited to know that, Black people are making real progress. And this is what I say, progress is progress. Even if we're behind, we're not as behind as we were. And so I'll take any and all progress, and I want us to stay on this energy level so that it can get better, right? And so that's why you come to these shows like Fly Nubian Money or Boyce Watkins shows. You come to these shows to make sure that you not only make progress, but you keep it and you keep scaling. And that's exciting.
Okay. Hey girl, you cute. You cute or whatever. What's
like
happening?
5 minutes ago, I don't know, but thank you. I'll take it.
You got your ish together, boo?
Huh?
I said you got your ish together.
I did. I got it together a little bit. How's everybody doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us. So what I was so in case you just tuned in, or in case you just jumped on like Miss Black Hollywood, she doesn't know what we're talking about, even though she's a producer and made this all up. We're talking about Black millionaires. They're all rising, but is it progress or an illusion? And recently we heard that 1 in 20 or 25 Black people were millionaires. And so my question to everybody, and in the chat as well, what was your thoughts? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Were you surprised? Were you happy? What did you think when you heard that? Is it real? Miss Black Hollywood, what was your thoughts when you heard about it?
So when I saw it, I was really excited. I said, oh, yes, because I think before it was like 1 in 50. And I was like, oh, man, progress is being made. Here we go. And then I started researching for the show, and I was like, that's it. That's what I did. I was like, oh man, hell, maybe not. So I don't know. I thought that it was really important that we have this conversation. So I'm here with, I think, the best queens, so I can learn like what this means and what we can do to kind of like really change it. I think I know the answer, but I don't know the answer.
Okay. Well, I will say, Dr. Sabrina, you mentioned something about the pandemic, and I don't know if you guys know, but after the pandemic, Black wealth, MSNBC is the only outlet that I've seen that reported it, because it ain't on Fox News. Black wealth grew the most after pandemic, more than any other group. Black wealth grew the most after the pandemic. So that's great. Now, 2017, Forbes magazine said, they looked at a study, and I forget who put the study out, that said by the year 2053, Black median wealth was going to be a 0. That was the premise of my TED talk. Google that shit, because I was talking about Black wealth and closing the wealth gap. And my thing is, they done fucked around and gave us internet. We got AI. We have a great equalizer. And so I believe that is something that's really going to enhance and close that wealth gap. There is a lot of strides that need to be made. And I know that, Tiara, you've done a lot of research that says kind of like where we are in comparison to everybody else. And we're going to get into it. But I say progress is progress. I'm like y'all, I'm looking at it as half full. And I think it's a good thing, because if you look at us compared to the other demographics, nobody has faced what we faced in this country, in this world. So the fact that 1 in 20 of us are millionaires, that's a beautiful thing. Let's go. So let's take a look at the first video. And I see some stuff in the chat, though. I seen somebody said, Tony Turner said, I think it's real. There's an evolution taking place right now with AI. Black people have taken advantage of it. There is no wealth that's happening right now. I'm sitting here right now using AI to create software that I would never been able to complete without it. It has literally served as my outside development team, which I could never afford. I think that is brilliant. And I'm glad that he brought that up because that shows what's possible. That is the great equalizer, y'all. If y'all don't know, y'all better get into it. But let's take a look at this first video, sis.
So I thought that we would start. Let's just take a look back. Let's see exactly how much progress that we've made.
You would think that Black people have made financial progress over the last 160 years. But I have some news for you. We haven't. Yes, we have Black billionaires now, like Robert Smith, Dave Stewart, Oprah, Michael Jordan, and they're killing it, man. And yes, the Black middle class has also grown, but probably not in the ways that you think. You see, when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, listen to this, the Black community owned 0.5% of the wealth in the U.S. By the way, that is 0.5% of the wealth in the United States, which ain't a lot. Now, because slaves couldn't own anything, that's not surprising because Black people, we didn't even have the opportunity to accumulate wealth back then. But you want to know something mind-blowing? Today, more than 160 years later, the percentage of wealth that Black people own in the United States is, guess what? Guess how much? 1%. It has barely budged. So right now, today, Black people only own about 1% of the total wealth in the United States. So it may seem like we've come a long way, and a select few really have. But collectively, we have barely moved the needle.
Let's talk about it. So he says we barely move the needle. And it is true that we had more land back after Reconstruction. But it's also true that after Reconstruction, a lot of our land was taken. Let's keep it real. We own towns, we own land, and white people came and said, we don't want you to have this land no more. And hundreds and thousands of acres of land was stolen from us. So it doesn't mean, in my opinion, that we lost it or we're just not good stewards. If our shit was stolen, burned, bombed, that's the reason why we're in this position. What say you, Dr. Felice?
I think that's part of the story. I think that now, yeah, but I think sometimes we get caught up on the past and we get kind of stuck and get in this circle about how to get out of this circle and come to the now and the present and move forward. We've got great data on the past. And so what we're supposed to do with that data is we're supposed to figure out and find out, what did they do before everything was snatched? What did our ancestors do to get them to the space where they were owning land? And then figure out collectively, how do we get there now and do better and leave legacy wealth? I think we can't stay in the past. We got to use the good data and bring it forward. And then I do believe that now Black people more than ever, we really need to pool our resources. We really need to pull together and be able to figure out and know that we're really the only ones trying to do all this stuff by ourselves. And our other ethnicities and counterparts in the human race, they're not. They do things together. And it is apples to oranges, Constance. Like, for us to start a business is different than it is for our Caucasians, our Asians, and our Latinos. They don't start from the very bottom in the scratch. I've learned that just from having really good friends in those different ethnicities. They really do work and pull their resources together. And they figure out how to make sure you can skip certain steps that catapults you quicker into wealth than we do.
That's good. Good. What do you think, Dr. Sabrina?
Well, I mean, I'm listening, and I leaned in when the brother was talking, and just kind of thinking about. I'm gonna make it personal. My grandparents, for example, my grandfather had a third grade education, never really worked jobs where he made, quote unquote, a lot of money, but the mindset was to have something to pass down to his children and his children's children. And he did that by way of, I don't know, he got his 40 acres. He had a mule died, but he got it, left the house for us. but I don't know. I think in terms of maybe even where a lot of people are today, I asked myself, did we manage that well, in that foundation that may have been laid for us by our grandparents, our great grandparents? Did we take that and build on it to grow it into more than just what they were able to get? So I think it could be possible that we have kind of taken a step backward. And even though, as Ms. Black Hollywood said, initially, when you hear the statistic and you think, oh, we have, this number of millionaires among us, does it really represent progress? When you hear this other side of it, based on where we were and where we are now, it does seem like we got more work to do.
Okay. Amen. Amen. What you think, Miss Black Hollywood?
I can't help but to think about. So I always talk about the book An Empire of Our Own, and I remember when Jewish immigrants came to America, and Americans hated them just like they hated Black people, right? They threw them in the group, which is why I think a lot of the time Jewish people would connect with Black people. That's where that whole relationship between our community and theirs forged, right? But the difference was there was these visionaries that saw this motion picture, this silent picture, and was like, hey, we can use silent pictures to change the image of what our people are in this country. And so that's when Hollywood was born. I think representation, us being constantly fed certain narratives about ourselves outside of like programming, right? We have the money. I believe that Black people have money. We have $2 trillion of spending power. And I think depending on what we do with that, it's almost like what Dr. Sabrina said, just like having the money is not enough. It's like the mindset with that $2 trillion, we could have flipped that so many times and rose in the way that we can. But there's this narrative that we've also purchased, right? Where it's like spend everything, YOLO, it's in the music, and then you watch TV and it says that there's like poverty. But back in the day, 100 years ago, when Jewish people were kind of looked at the same way, now you can't look at a Jewish person without thinking success, money, even with them. So I think representation really matters. That's what it made me think. Like maybe our programming is a little off, and the things that, and it's really by design. I know that. But it's like, if we can, this is why I changed my name to Miss Black Hollywood, because I was like, hey, so if after I read that, I said, if I want to contribute, I can't change the world, but if I can contribute good narratives to Black people and help them change this, then maybe we can flip it and do something massive in 100 years. Because it won't be while I'm living, but maybe I can contribute.
But maybe it will be while you're living. I mean, you never know. I mean, I think
Maybe.
when you talk about representation mattering, I believe it does, but also assimilation to whiteness matters. We will never look white. Jewish. You can't tell a person is Jewish unless they tell you that you're Jewish. Just like you can't tell a person who's gay unless they tell you they're gay, right? Like when you're Black, you can't take the Black off. And you think about, I believe that the past is definitely a great data collector, but it also tells us where we are today and why we are here. When you look at the fact that land and real estate being the number one wealth builder, and when we did not get our 40 acres and a mule, it was reversed by, who was it, Andrew Jackson, after President Lincoln died. Before that, white people got 246 million acres of land for free. Black people did not get that. They got that with the Homestead Act. There was another Homestead Act that gave them more land. They got the GI bills. They were able to get FHA loans, which really built the middle class throughout America. They got that while we got redlined, we got discriminated, we got predatory lending. This is why we are where we are today. Yes, we don't want to keep looking at the past, but the past is why we are where we are today. Then you start putting drugs in our community. Then you create these narratives. And you talk about Jewish people, and they built the motion picture. They built the industry, the entertainment industry. They are the ones putting out the negative narratives about Black people, and we are subscribing to it. So we're not here on our own. This is not us doing this on our own. This is other things at play that are contributing to where we are. Now, do I think, and I understand the thing about it is, because we are such a strong and resilient people, I believe, again, glass half full, because look at, in spite of all of that, look at where we are. Look at what we've been able to accomplish. These people are working overtime. I don't care what nobody says. They are working overtime to destroy, to discredit, and disrupt. That is what COINTELPRO was about. That is what J. Edgar Hoover said we are going to do to Black people. Destroy, discredit, disrupt. They've been doing this since the inception of this country, and they continue to do it today. And that's why we are where we are. Before you go, though, I'm gonna let you respond to that, Dr. Fleece. We got to go to a commercial because we're about 12 minutes behind. My bad.
This is a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So no.
Right now, do you know we brought in $1.3 trillion last year as a people? Out of 226 nations on the earth, that makes Black people in America the 8th richest nation. We brought in $600 billion more than Spain, $700 billion more than Mexico. Yet Spain has 46 million people like we do, and they maintain a 208,000 square mile landmass, and they have their own everything. Mexico has 131,700,000 people, and they're maintaining 771,500 square miles with half the money we have. Yet they have whole countries, and we don't have nothing we can call our own. Something happened to us. We got to get back into what they call today financial literacy. But we got to do it quick, because we got to start doing something for ourselves. We got the dollars. We just need some more sense to go with them dollars. We need some more sense, because right now we the leaders in unnecessary spending. We always buying stuff we don't need with money that we don't have from people that we don't like to impress people that we don't even know. And the Negro, the Black mind right now has been hardwired where happiness is connected to spending when it needs to be hardwired to investing and to saving. And if we can renegotiate the contract in the black psyche, well, happiness to spending, to investing and saving, I think we'll be able to build a bright future for our people.
Well, all right. So if you are just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Black millionaires. They're rising, but is it progress, or is it just an illusion? And so before we went to the break, Dr. Felice had something that she wanted to say. What did you want to say, dear?
I wanted to piggyback off of you, and I wanted to thank you for bringing up that point, because we have a tendency to try and compare Black people to other folk, and you can't.
Right.
There's nobody on this planet present day that has been through the level of racism, discrimination, and strategic annihilation of a people like us. Yeah. And so for all of those different things that have come against Black people, for us to be 1 in 25 is pretty darn good. And so if you look at it too, with what you just said, they want to say, a lot of people, they want to say that we're the ones who get welfare. That is what welfare is. That, like, if you are handing people a hand up or a give out to make sure that they have wealth, if you have had 400 years of free labor, just think about that. Think about your businesses. If you didn't have to pay anybody on your team for whatever it is you was doing, and all their magic was flowing into your business, where you would be. Yes.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Well, yes, 1 in 5.
You got it.
Right.
Right.
You got right. 1 in 5 is actually low for white people.
Right.
100 years of free labor that you didn't have to pay
All
for.
y'all should be rich.
All of them should be rich. You should. And so the numbers is apples to oranges. And we got to stay in our lane and work our lane, because we always looking over into other people's lane trying to compare. There is no comparison.
Amen.
It's not.
You better say that.
And so that I just wanted to piggyback over that, because that is very key as to why. And then you ask us, get up, regroup. How many times do you have to ask a person to get up and regroup again? Right. Every time they make strides, you put something else in place. You change the game when we figure it out, right? You change the rules, you change the loopholes, because Black folks don't figure it out and they get ready to surpass it. You get what I'm saying? And so we're always having to start back, because when we get it, we make magic happen and they change it. And so this is, I've always been saying this. We have to create and make our own lane. Stay there. And make sure that we keep pumping money. That $1.3 trillion, that
$2 trillion now.
That should have been pumped into Black economy. That's where that money should go. It should have been back in the Black economy. Can you imagine what $2 trillion would have did for all of the Black businesses if you strategically and intentionally look for me when you were buying something? Unimaginable.
We have an answer to that, though, Constance. You said, so we found out long ago that only 2% of that $2 trillion is being put back into Black business. And so I know me and Constance have talked about this many times. She just challenges, like, if we just put 10% of that, into our community, it would solve a lot of our issues in our community. What do you say?
A tithe, just a tithe.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Because we do have this money, and kudos to us for this $2 trillion. It's a good thing. Black people, we ain't as poor as we thought we are. We are not impoverished like they thought we are, and we don't spend more frivolously than anybody else. We don't spend any more frivolously than anybody else. So throw that narrative out. The problem is that we don't have Black businesses to spend with. So it's like, I want to find you, Dr. Felice, but maybe I can't find your business. I want to spend with Black people, but maybe there's not a Black business that does what I need. And so the real issue is we got to start creating Black businesses so that we can spend with each other, because we don't have enough Black businesses. We're not throwing it away. We buying necessities. We're just not buying with each other. Dr. Sabrina?
I think I'd like to jump in there because you bring up a valid point. I even think about the Target boycott. The issue there is, even if we don't spend the money with Target, and I'm not trying to start a debate on whether or not we should participate. I'm trying to make a point here. Even if you don't spend your money at Target, there are certain items that Target carries that are needed in households. And so I would love to be able to spend that money in my community. But to your point, we don't own a big box store. We don't have that to go to. In many of our communities, we don't have Black-owned grocery stores. We all got to eat. So we know we're going to spend the money on food. But the question becomes, where do I go to spend my Black dollar for the things that I need if that type of business is not available for me to spend my Black dollar in? So, I mean, you make a very valid point when you say that. A lot of times they're just not there for us to spend that money on. And I think therein lies an opportunity.
Yes.
For us to come together, to invest together, and to build together. We know what the problem is, and we know what the solution is. The thing is, like Nike said, it's just time for us to do it. We do it. I love that.
Some of the things is about convenience too, y'all, because there are a lot of Black businesses that sell like tissue. You just have to put, like, on Amazon, you just have to put it on automatic. So then, you can get it.
You gotta be intentional.
You gotta be intentional. What I learned is that doing some research, because there are a lot of Black businesses that do a lot of great things, but it's just a hassle if they're not, finding a Black farmer, right? There's a little Black farmer group here in LA. You can go to their little farmers markets and get your meat, get your vegetables. I'm like, okay, cool. But I got to drive all the way over to Inglewood for that. Do you want to do that every week? Probably not, when Ralph's is 600 feet from my house. So it's just like, just us wanting to be, just making the decision, like, I'm going to do this no matter what.
But here's what I love. This is what I love. I think this is the best time to be alive, y'all. I really do. With the Trump administration, I'm so grateful for them motherfuckers. I promise you. I'm so grateful because there is a great Black awakening that's happening right now because we have been asleep for the last 50 years. Pacified. They've been rocking us asleep because we've been thinking that they was looking out for our best interest. And one of my great mentors, Dr. George Fraser, he said, white people ain't think about you. They think about their family. No, they are. Because they're working overtime to disenfranchise Black people. I don't care that I love Dr. Fraser, but I disagree on that. I believe that the administration, the first thing that they did, because they knew Black women were the number one most educated demographic, is they went after Black women. Now 300,000 of us lost jobs. But I think this is a perfect opportunity. This is the greatest time because now Black people are starting to wake up. We gang recognize gang. This is what's going on. Now, just like you said, be like Nike and just do it. There's opportunity. This is the perfect time to seize opportunity for us to create businesses, to work together, to collaborate. This is a perfect opportunity for that. Let's go to another commercial because I know we're behind on the commercials, and then let's go to our next video. Get your finger on the trigger, sis.
I was into it. Okay, here we go. I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle.
As a Black billionaire, there's only 1%, right? I mean, Black billionaires form 1% of the billionaires in this country. What is it like being a Black billionaire when the other 99% are not?
It's a great job if you can get it.
That's right.
Well said.
And here's the great news. You can get it.
Yeah.
It's there. It's available. We're in the greatest country on planet Earth. America is not perfect, but it is spectacular.
That's right.
And every day is a new opportunity. It's a blank canvas. You make your masterpiece.
Did you ever think you were going to get there?
I never thought I wouldn't.
Right. There it is.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was, I never saw myself any other way. It was just like, people, how did that happen? I haven't had a job since I quit my paper route.
Right.
You know, do what you love and
Yes,
love
right.
what you do. And then all of a sudden you're going to look up and you go, whoa, that's pretty good. I'm having a great time. Just enjoy yourself. You know, enjoy yourself. And people are like, how do you become a billionaire? Sell something legal. Sell something. You know, find a need, fill it, and fulfill that need, and before you know it, you'll be good. You know, you can be as wealthy as you want to be well within 12 to 36 months. Just focus on it.
Wow.
Amen.
There it is.
Listen, we are talking about Black millionaires. They're rising, y'all, but it's just an illusion. If you just tuned in, we're having a really great conversation. Listen, I need you to stop right now. Wherever you are, what you're doing, you need to share this stream out to everybody that you know because we are dropping game. Put this, if you are watching from Facebook, share this on your Facebook page. If you're watching from YouTube, send the link out to all your friends. Tell them to hop on right now and be a part of this conversation because we are really digging deep on what this whole idea of Black millionaires is an illusion, but we're going to offer some solutions too. So we want you to get there. Anybody got anything to comment on that? On what's the dude's name again?
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen.
I love Byron Allen, by the way. But
he started out as a comedian. Remember, he was a comedian. He wasn't very funny. And then he started owning cable stations, and now he's a billionaire. I mean, to go from that, why are you laughing, Sabrina?
Well, he figured out what wasn't working for him.
I never laughed at a joke.
That's so funny. I do wonder, I guess, and this is to everybody on the panel, is like, is it that simple, right? I think sometimes when you get to a certain level, it's like all you got to do is follow your passion and do what you love, and money will show up. And I love what he said about selling something. I think that is, even if you are not an entrepreneur, you should own something. If you got to buy your cousin's business or something. But I think we should learn to sell something. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's just that easy to just say, like, follow your passions or follow a route and life will unfold, and before you know it, you'll have money? Is that the answer?
I think you have to tune in. And I think that a lot of us get distracted. We get easily distracted by all the noise that's going on around us. And I'm going to give you an example. Y'all remember just a few weeks ago, people were like losing their minds, losing their jobs over this whole Charlie Kirk conversation. You know, we were getting distracted by that and losing where our focus should have been. Yeah, I mean, have an opinion or whatever, but it ain't that serious, you know, especially somebody you ain't never met, you ain't gonna never see again, you know, because he gone, you still here. I'm not making light of it, but I'm just saying, when you focus on what's important, I'm with Byron. You can do a whole lot of things, but for many of us, because we are so consumed with, as Constance would say, shit that don't even matter, you know.
I'm the only one that cuss around here. I'm the only one that cuss.
The way you would put it, Constance.
Yes.
But we are so consumed with things that really don't even matter. We lose that opportunity to build. I have a great friend, I mean, who basically has mapped out this plan to take $15,000 and turn it into well over $1 million. I mean, he's working his plan. Great plan, and he's working it. But what he says is, I like football. I really enjoy football, but I can't take that 3 hours and spend it watching a football game because I'm losing time when I can be feeding my mind, watching YouTube videos and doing things that feed into my mind. That's taking something out of my mind. So I think, you know, with regard to your question, Ms. Black Hollywood, some of it is if we do hone in and focus on building wealth and those things that allow us to build and to grow, yeah, we can do it.
I'm so glad that you said that, Dr. Sabrina, because I think that's a problem for a lot of people. And even me, I get caught up sometimes too. I had to, even this week, because I was like, I was spending my time scrolling. That's negative productivity. There's no productivity in me scrolling. I'm actually losing time and brain cells, by the way, right? So one of my favorite books, and I always have the ladies in that 7 read, is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers, in the book Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell talks about how you need 10,000 hours for perfection. 10,000 hours. You can get to 10,000 hours, you can perfect something. He talked about the Beatles. He talked about Bill Gates. He talked about all these people who just worked 10,000 hours. And what happens is, think about how much time we spend scrolling, non-productivity. And if we took that same time, and that might equal to 10,000 hours in a year, if we took that same time building and pouring into ourselves in something that we really wanted, because people are like, well, how do I know what my passion is? How do I know what I want to do? And I'm having the same conversation with my daughter. Start doing things. Well, first of all, start with the end in mind. What is it that you really want to do? But start pouring into yourself. That time that you're spending on things that aren't productive and scrolling, now you start just listening. Even if it's listening to us, or if you got an Audible, or you're listening to YouTube, start listening into things that are going to fulfill and pour into you. So thank you for saying that, Dr. Sabrina, because I think that's a very important point, is what we're putting in our minds. Les Brown says one thing. He says, what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. So if you are focused on that thing, that's what reminded me of when Byron Allen was talking. 12 to 18 months. If you focus on, focus long on what's the strongest, then that's what's going to happen. Felice, what are your thoughts?
I did all your thoughts, but I just was looking at the comments and I got distracted that quick. Someone said money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil.
It's not, baby.
It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. And so that's the difference. Money is something that is necessary. And so it's not evil. I think what it is, to answer Miss Black Hollywood, is that it's mindset, right? And mindset work is rigor. It is rigor. It is an intentional decision to keep your mind stayed on a certain thing and hone in, focus in, like Dr. Sabrina says. So if you really want to build real wealth, this is all of us, you have to have a mindset, like Byron Allen said, it is possible. It's possible. It's just, it takes rigor. And what does that mean? That means that you got to do something every day in that arena, and you've got to train your mind to know that it is possible. All things are possible if you believe it is. And so if you don't believe that it's possible, then that is your reality. And then, like somebody said, your perception is your reality. It is. And when I was hearing Black Hollywood say, she was talking to somebody and she says, well, is my perception my reality? And he says she's delusional. You are not delusional. You are what you believe you are.
That's right.
And part of the reason why he is able to see the poverty is because that is what he believes. Not that he believes in it, but that he believes it exists and he has a focus on it. Whatever you focus on, that is the reality that you create. And so if you want to create, and the reason why you're only around millionaires is because you believe that being a millionaire is possible. And so your universe has shifted and allowed you to be in the room with people who believe like that, right? And so it is possible if you believe, and your perception is your reality. And so you can have whatever it is you want as long as you're willing to work for it. And there's nothing that is worth having is worth working for. It is.
Amen.
I want to get this constant. One other thing. Here's the educator in me.
Let's go.
Think about what he said. Give it 36 months, maybe 48 months. Those of us that have gone to college have done it. And what did we come out with? The degree.
Right.
So it's the same difference. We went in, we had a plan. Remember, they give you your curriculum. Okay, you want to graduate, you need 128 hours. And this is kind of, how we suggest you do it, but you can take them in different order. Same thing with building wealth. So, somebody can give you the blueprint, but you got to put that thing together in a way that makes sense for you. But the main thing is you got to follow the plan. You got to execute.
Execution is everything. I need to go back with something though, because Felice, you were talking about something that Miss Black Hollywood said, but she didn't say it on the show. She said it before we got on the show. So I need you to explain. I need you to go back to explain what she was talking about, because then people gonna be like, well, what's she saying?
I could say it because I was there, but go ahead.
No. I'm talking about you. No, I'm talking about Miss Black Hollywood. You explain what she was talking about.
No, you can tell. No, so
No,
one
go
of my
ahead.
friends, basically, I was having dinner with a gentleman, and he was just like, I was just talking, and he was like, I just think not everybody. I said, I know a lot of millionaires actually, and he was like, yeah, but most Black people don't know a lot of millionaires. We were having a conversation around millionaires, and I was like, millionaires not like it's the floor, because right, like it's not
You're
the
so
floor.
bougie.
Right, like no, that's not the way I said
Millionaire
it.
is the floor.
It's just like this. It's like, but no, but I didn't say it like that. But I was just basically saying, like, he was like, yeah, most Black people just don't live like this. Like, we're sitting in Mastro's having dinner for no reason, right? People come here for their birthdays, and I was just thinking, like, okay. I said, but I know a lot of people that this is their normal, like this is their regular. And so he just thought that for me to expect Black people to And we were talking about Black wealth, and I was saying, I just feel like we all can do it if we unify. And he was like, yeah, I just think that's delusional thinking. There's going to be rich and there's going to be poor, because that's just what it is. And so, what do you think about that, Dr. Felice?
She just said, but before hold on, before you answer that, I just want to ask the folks in the chat, because you said something that I think was poignant. You said, I know a lot of Black millionaires. I know Black millionaires, and the person you were with said, you're in a bubble. You live in a bubble. I don't know any Black millionaires. I don't think people really know many Black millionaires. And I want to ask people who are listening, do you guys know Black millionaires? Because I want to kind of get an idea of, you know, the folks who we're talking to. Do you know Black millionaires? Is that a common thing for you? Or do you not know any Black millionaires? Or maybe you don't know any people that you think might be millionaires. And that's not just liquid. That's also net worth, right? So that's also, you know, assets that they have, because that's where most of the wealth that we're talking about. We're talking about 1 in 20 Black people or 1 in 5 white people. We're talking about their net worth in terms of, you know, what they have. But Dr. Felice, go ahead and say what you're going to say. Do you guys know millionaires? Yeah, 401k Black millionaires. Yeah, Anonymous, that's a Black millionaire. If you got $1 million in your 401k, yeah, you got money. That's actually liquid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you lit.
Yeah, you good.
Around $5.
Right, 8 for me. Felice, you wanted to say something to that?
So, I mean, I do agree. I think that, you know, y'all know I'm a woman of faith, and God says the poor will always be among you. There are going to always be poor people. And the reason that there's always going to be poor people is because of their mindset. And so, but in my opinion, it was never God's intention as a child of his to be poor. And how do you have a father who owns houses and
I can't hear you.
How do you have a God who has mansions and land and he's okay with his children being poor? He's not okay with his children being poor, but he is a God who gives you free will.
Yeah.
So if your free will has a mindset that you can't rise above your circumstances, or you can't rise above what somebody has put in front of you, then you won't. And I believe that we come from people who, for whatever reason, believed in me. They may not have saw what they could do, but they believed in the hope of me. And that's why we've got people today who are able to spend $2 trillion, right? And so what do we have to do? We have to keep believing that it is possible for us to leave legacy wealth to our loved ones. And that is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay in that mindset. Amen. And I'm going to invite other people to come figure out how we do that. How do we train our mind? And like Dr. Sabrina said, like y'all have said too, it is intentional focus. We have got to make a decision. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of us are making our money and exposure off of social media, but social media is also a strategic tool to keep you dumb. It is also a strategic tool to keep you distracted. It wants you not to get intentional and not to pay attention and stay rigorous about you keeping your mind on what it is you can really have and want. And so it is designed to distract you. And so you have to say, I'm going to pull away from this. I'm going to steal away from it. I'm going to do what I got to do, and then I'm going to get out. And then I'm going to take the remainder of my time and I'm going to use it wisely, because I have a vision and a plan where I'm going to leave legacy wealth, because it is possible.
Amen. We're going to go to this next video but you know what? Deborah said, I love Mastros, especially in Miami. This one over here going to Mastros. I was there last week. I went to Vegas and I got paid to be the keynote speaker, and I went to Mastros and I spent all the money there. That's how expensive that place is. So y'all going to a place like Mastros.
Wait.
You must got some money.
No.
Yeah. Let's go to the next video.
Okay. Let's go here.
According to Forbes, or according to the New York Times, there's 100 new Black millionaires in America as of 2020, right?
Right.
A Negro who's politically uneducated will say that's a good thing.
Right.
There's 100 more Black millionaires, but there's 50 million Black people in America.
Right.
And very few of those 100 Black millionaires are trying to reinvest any of that capital into systematic improvements for the race. So how can you say Black people are doing better because Obama got elected? How can you say Black people are doing better because him and her are millionaires now? No, you judge group progress based on the average quality of life for all members of that race, not a few Negro aristocrats. But in America, they have convinced black people that progress for the Negro aristocracy means progress for the group, and that is incorrect.
So I just want to tell Anonymous, the waitress didn't say maestros. She said mastros. But anyway, he said we're pronouncing it wrong. Anyway, huh?
I said, yeah, we said mastros. No,
The waitress said that. The waitress said that too. So I mean, she must have pronounced it wrong as well. But what do you think? Because I'm looking at, I think again, we gotta look at the glasses half full and not half empty. We gotta stop just talking about what we ain't, we can't, we don't, and all that stuff. I don't agree with, I agree that more progress needs to be made, but we got to stop saying what we ain't, we can't, because that's not speaking life into our race. But what y'all think? What do you think about what Dr. Umar said, Ms. Sabrina?
Well, I mean, I think I can agree to a certain point. And I see where he's going with that. It's good and it's great for some of us to win, but then we do have to ask that question of, how as a community, what does it look like for all of us? Because the reality is, I'm just a firm believer of the fact that no matter how much we individually get, until we do come up as a people, there's a problem for us. The reality is, if let's say I live in a house on a hill, and my family is good and we eating well over here, everything may be safe and good and where we are in our space. But if we leave this space and we go intermingle with other people, it may not be so good for, my family. We may experience some things. So I think when you put more of us in a situation where we're not necessarily having to compete, there's not a lot of situation where people could feel threatened or feel like they have to cause harm or feel like they got to take what you got when they got their own. If they don't have to, they don't feel like that, then that makes it better for everybody. You ain't got to take mine because you got your own.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you right on. But that's what happens when you have poverty, and it goes across races, whether you're white, black, Asian, or whatever. When people don't have, they're gonna take. It just is what it is. It just happens that more of us didn't have, and so more of us were taking at a time. But again, I think we need to change narrative. What say you, Miss Black Hollywood?
I just wonder if everybody can go, right? As a person that actively works with the Black community, I love Black people. I love working with Black people. I love my sis being Black. I love most of the people that I work with. I am Miss Black Hollywood, for goodness sake, right? But sometimes what I notice is even coaching, I can coach until I'm blue in the face. I can help you until you're blue in the face. But if you don't do the work on top of that, or your mindset isn't in a certain place, I'll kill myself trying to help you. So I do wonder if it's, can everybody go? Is everybody gonna have the mindset? Is it Negroes versus niggas? Is it Black people versus niggas? Like, what is the mindset? And when do you just take your hands off and go, all right, well, I'm gonna do for people that get it, and then I'm gonna leave everybody else wherever they stand and keep it moving, right? So we can all progress. Because I don't know if everybody can go. What do you say, Constance?
What's funny is that Les Brown, I know Les Brown, right? So he came to my office one year, and that was a question that was asked to him. So I'm trying to help all these people, trying to do this stuff with Black people, but they just don't want the help. And what he said, you only help the willing. I can only help the willing. I can't help people who don't want to be helped. And I'm not going to kill myself trying to help people that don't want to be helped. I can put the information out there. You can eat off of it, or you could spit it out. It's on you, but I can't make you do it. And so, for those ones who don't, they ain't gonna come. They not gonna come, Miss Black Hollywood, and that's okay, because everybody can't come. Harriet Tubman couldn't take everybody. She could have saved more when they knew that they were slaves, but a lot of us don't know that we still slaves. Problem. Miss Felice, Dr. Felice, what you think?
I think that's a really great question. And I think it's all relative, right? Sometimes it's also about somebody's readiness. And so sometimes people have the desire to be ready, but they're not ready. Either it's their circumstances, it's their mindset, it's different things. Like, everybody wanna be in their right weight. We all have the potential to be in our right weight, right? Who's going to get there quicker? Who's going to make the decision? Who's going to follow the plan? It's all relative, but eventually, hopefully, most people do get there. They just don't get there when we think or hope and they should. And so I think you're all right. Everybody's not going to go, and everybody's not going to go at the same time. Some people are going to get there at their own pace. And that's the hope too. You know, we would love for everybody to be able to go on the first boat, but that's not possible. But I'm okay if you just get on a boat. Now, it may not be my boat, and when we go, and that's the beauty of evolution too, right? Like, you're going to meet your tribe according to your evolution. And so y'all going to go on your boat, and when you ready, because I'm going to create data and information for everybody. It's going to be available to everybody. And when you get it, and when it clicks, you're going to get on the boat. And so that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I think everybody it's all at an appointed time, and it's okay if everybody can't come, because that's how capitalism works. Everybody's not going to have, you're going to have some haves, you're going to have some have-nots. Hopefully we can bring more people along to the haves. There was a statistic that said, what was it at? Nearly 2 million Black Americans have reached millionaire status. 2 million Black Americans have reached a millionaire status. That's historic, right? But when you compare it to white Americans, 1 in 5, and it should be 1 in 1, 1 in 2, 400, just like Felice said, 400 years of free labor. That's why they so mad at us, y'all, because they have 400-year head start. And they are nothing but mediocre if they have not made millionaire status. Those 4 out of 5 white people that are not millionaires, it's because you're mediocre. You didn't try hard enough. I'm telling you right now. Also, 1 in 5 Asians. And it reveals a massive gap. But you think about it, a lot of these Asians, they come over here with their own money. They come over here with something set up. Black people, we was born in a deficit. So I hate the fact that Black people will compare us. Well, look at the Asians come over here. They come over here with stuff. Black people, we were born in negative, at a negative. We ain't even at the starting line, y'all. So Black Americans still hold less than 5% of the wealth because it was taken, it was burned. Okay. And even though we're about 13% of the population, the average white household net worth is still 6 to 8 times higher. It should be 100 times higher. Y'all got 400-year head start. Come on now. Like, it should be way higher. That's not saying nothing. You cheat and then you bragging about you cheating. Like, come on. So anyway, let's take a look at some of these stats, y'all. Okay. So Black Americans now represent the second largest millionaire demographic. Really? The second?
See, that's what I'm saying. This is where I got kind of confused.
That's a contradiction right there.
I know, this is because that's what it said that, and I was like, oh, great, but how are we the second largest if
I don't know?
That's what it said. Right. It didn't make sense. Okay,
let's go to nearly 2 million Black Americans are millionaires, about 1 in every 25 adults. All right. Economists note that the rise of Black wealth is driven by entrepreneurship, higher education, attainment, and expanding opportunities in tech, real estate, and digital industries. Y'all, they done fucked around and gave us the internet and AI. I mean, that is the great equalizer. We ain't get no reparations. And I hate that Van Jones is around here saying that AIs are reparations. No, it's not. Pay us what you owe us. However, that is a thing that I think that's going to be, when we talk about the wealth gap widening by 2053, our net worth is going to be a 0. It's not. We got access to too much. And now with this great awakening that's happening, with what's going on in the administration, now we're opening up our eyes. We got to see, we can't depend on them. We have to depend on ourselves. What say you, Dr. Felice?
Are these final thoughts?
Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. Final thoughts.
Because it's 11 o'clock.
I ain't even know. Okay, final thoughts. My bad. Go ahead. Give us your final thoughts, please. Where can we find you? Thank you.
My final thoughts are something that you shared, how in 2019, a lot of us became business owners and got a lot of wealth. It's something about the struggle with Black people that when the reality really hits, that we're going to have to figure this out. We figure it out. We have to know that we are a resilient and beautiful culture that has the potential to do and be where we were purposed always to be. And so if you need any help with any mindset stuff, please reach out to me. I'm Felice Hightower Britt, the Be Big Coach. www.thebebigcoach.com. I would love to help you and be a part of your journey and your awakening to your wealth.
Thank you, Dr. Felice.
Thank you, Dr. Felice. I'm sorry, my greedy ass was out there eating when you was talking. I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry. I was about you got me a millisecond. You got me a millisecond before I was gonna mute myself. My bad. Every time we go to commercial, I'd be like this. Oh, my bad. I forgot to mute y'all. The Felice, I'm sorry, dear. Hopefully I didn't distract you. You good? All right, Miss Black Hollywood, won't you go?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this has been an insightful conversation, but I knew it would be. I was somewhere in the middle going, oh my God, feeling doom and gloom. Because I'm constantly looking at news that says that we are always at the bottom, thanks to the administration. And we're going to have this conversation later this week. And the getting rid of DEI, now white men are now dominating corporate spaces all over again. They are heading the boardrooms and doing all the things. And it just made me think about where we were headed as a people. But I love what all my queens are saying is that we don't have to sit back and depend on anybody. When we have ourselves, we can support one another. We have the money. We would be the 8th wealthiest country. We have a lot more to do with than we think we do. It's just what we're spending it on. It's just what our mindset is. So I just say, like, we just keep watching programs like this and go to flynubianmoney.com and flynubianmoneyclub.com. And also, and I wasn't going to talk about the launch lab yet, but I'm actually I'm creating an incubator for entrepreneurs or wannapreneurs who want to create a business but don't know where to turn. I'm literally going to help you in 60 days go from wannapreneur to winner. And if you want to start the new year, if you want to start the new year with a new business, listen, we launch, I start interviews next week. I already have 2 people and I have not launched the program yet. But I'm at info@realvirtual.net. Again, it's going to be up on missblackhollywood.com or .net. I'm sorry, missblackhollywood.net next Monday. But I start interviewing next week and I haven't even really put it out. I'm taking 12 wannapreneurs and we are going to transform your life through coaching. We're going to get you a logo. We're going to get you some story. We're going to get your life together and let you launch on that first day of the year as an entrepreneur. So, we are here to help.
So necessary. Good job, Miss Black. You see, she sees a problem. She also offers a solution. She ain't playing them games with y'all.
I'm not playing. Ain't nobody playing.
2026 is time to level up. We see we had a whole year of this foolishness. So 2026 is time. We got to change the game, y'all. Dr. Sabrina, SEW, what say you? So noted.
All right, so here's the final thoughts from your life and legacy planning strategies. Planning was the key word in just what I said. Planning. I think we recognize where we are. The reality is, somebody put in the chat a few minutes ago that knowledge is power. Dr. Williams disagrees with you. Knowledge is only powerful when it's acted on. So, I have this saying, I can give you the information, I can give you the education all day long, but until there is implementation, your situation is not going to change. What I'd like to encourage us to do is get a plan together, a plan for how you plan to build your wealth, how you plan. The Bible tells us a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Those are your grandchildren. How do you get the money to your grandchildren? What is your plan for doing that? Put together a 3 or 4 year plan and work your plan and watch the magic happen. Miss Black Hollywood just offered a solution, but you got to act on it. And with that being said, I want to also encourage us to think about something. October is National Estate Planning Awareness Month. Now, one thing for certain, 2 things for sure. You may not build that wealth, but you gonna mess around and die eventually. And we want to make sure that when that happens, that you have left a foundation for your family to build upon. I am doing 6 free weeks of training, 6 weeks, not 1, 6 weeks to help you learn how to put an estate plan together. If you can't come to Mississippi, don't worry about that. Guess what? I'm putting it on YouTube. Go over to I Am So Noted. That's IAMSEWNOTED. Tune in. I will help you get there. That's what we're here for. Miss Black Hollywood said, ain't nobody coming to save us, but we gonna help you. We gonna do it. The queens are here. That being said, y'all know who I am. I am Dr. Sabrina Edmund Williams, educator, author, and investor. Opening minds and closing contracts. I am so noted. And I have been so excited and delighted, Miss Constance Carter, to be a part of this conversation today.
Listen, she preached that thing all the way out the church. I don't hear you, Miss Black Hollywood. What you say?
I feel like I'm on the fence about what Dr. Sabrina should have did with her life. I feel like maybe a rapper, maybe a preacher. I don't know. Like sometimes she'd be like, implementation is the only situation. I'd be like, listen,
bars.
Bars.
You don't drop that damn mic. Girl, you better drop that mic. Shoot.
I love it. I love that.
Listen, y'all. So here's what I say. Because I believe I'm just gonna repeat myself. This is the best time for us to be alive. It really is. And there's so much opportunity. Let's take away all that negativity that we heard about Black people, because that ain't us. The reason why they are working so overtime to disrupt, destroy, and discredit is because they know your power. All right. So they mentioned the Bible. They mentioned goal setting. And I'm going to just give you some biblical principles just to, get to your goal setting. The first thing you have to do, I always tell my kids, the people I coach, start with an end in mind. Where do you want to be? Where do you see your life? You got to have a vision for it, because the Bible says without a vision, what happens? People perish. So have a vision. What is it that you want to do? Where do you want to be? Now is the best time to do it. It's full of opportunity. We got AI, we got the internet, we got each other. Think about that. What is the vision you have for your life? The second thing you need to do is you need to write down the vision and make it plain. So write it down, journal it. Don't tell nobody right now. Just keep it right here. Put it in your heart. Let God just meditate on it in your soul, and just have a vision in mind. The third thing you have to do is you have to speak your vision as affirmations, because life and death are in the power of the tongue. What comes in from your mind to your belly, to your larynx, to your tongue, to the universe, what happens at that point, magic starts to happen. But it doesn't happen without working. So that's the fourth step that you have to do, because faith without works is dead. Okay. And then finally, my favorite verse in the Bible is, don't be weary in well doing, for in due season you will reap your harvest if you faint not. So that final thing is you will reap it. Everything that you've done to get there, you're going to reap whatever you sow, whatever you put out there, all the good, all the great, all the positive, all the work, you're going to get it back. It's just a matter of time. Consistency is a key. So whatever goals that you have in your life, it will happen if you do those 4 steps. And that 5th step of manifestation of reaping, it will happen. Trust me. It's a biblical principle. It's a universal principle. I believe it. God said it, and it's going to happen. So that's why I say it's not just about being a hearer of the word, but it's about being a doer of the word. And that's why you are here. Don't just listen to what we say. Do what we tell you to do, and you're going to be successful. Now, listen, I have the Net 7 Collective. We have a meeting right tonight. I coach Black women from all over the world, from all walks of life, to walk in their greatness. I coach Black women who are just starting out, who are administrative assistants, who are project managers, who are therapists. I coach doctors. I coach scientists, lawyers, all different types of women from all walks of life. We come together, we collaborate, we communicate, we execute, and we elevate. Ooh, I feel like Dr. Sabrina right now. I just rhymed. You hear that?
You listen. Come on now. Come on.
You know what it is.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Yes. So hit me up, go to my website, constancecarter.com, and you can see all the things that I'm doing. Just like all of these other ladies, there's a problem. We try to offer solutions. We really want to help, and we really want to take us to the next level and close this daggone wealth gap that they have thrust upon us. We're going to do it in our lifetime, Miss Black Hollywood. I really believe that we will. I do.
Okay. All right.
So listen, y'all, let's go ahead and end this. But I just want to say that we are living in a time where more of us are not just making money, but building it. We're managing it and we're multiplying it. The real question, though, is how do we sustain it? When we change the narrative from consumer to creator, spender to investor, we begin to reshape the entire financial landscape for our community. Thank you to my incredible panel for this powerful conversation. And thank you to everybody watching and being part of the movement. Take this moment and create a movement with this momentum towards your financial freedom and generational wealth. You hear that? You hear the alliterations?
Come on. That's a producer right there.
Alliterations, baby.
That's a producer right
there. We will see. We will see you tomorrow. Make sure that you subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen, Fly Nubian Money. Listen to us on All Things Podcast. And we're going to see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel.
TV, social media, and films have made many people today associate blackness with poverty. And they view those things and speak on them interchangeably without realizing that there has always been many black people in America that has done well financially. And I'm talking even way before the civil rights time. But I believe many people don't know that and they don't understand that, which is why they associate blackness with poverty. So I'm about to show y'all 9 men and women who built wealth in America way before these modern times. And the first one, this is James Fortin. He is considered the first black millionaire in American history. He was born in 1766. You heard that correctly. He was born in the 1700s. He was a sail maker and he developed sailing equipment, and that's what made him wealthy. And he used his money to help liberate others and get others out of slavery. He died in 1842, and when he died, he was one of the wealthiest people, not just black people. He was one of the wealthiest people, period, in America. All right, so this second guy is